I'm late! I'm late for a very important date! I'm late for a very important date! League 2 action returns tonight with, of course, a game and a busy, hectic weekend coming at you over in England's fourth tier. Who's going to shape it up this time around? We'll get into it next. That's right, folks. Buckles coming in again with another prediction video today. It is all about League 2 action, and today we're taking a look at match day number whatever is it? It is 31. That's right. We'll get to it in a second. If you knew where you've been, hit the old subscribe. Your one-stop shop for League 2, Blackburn Rovers, World Football, all here under one rooski. That's right. Currently, table toppers Walsall are flying away with it still. 7 points clear of the nearest and dearest Doncaster Rovers, who, of course, can shake it up this week. We'll get into all of that in a minute. Big shout out to the members. Big shout out to the patrons. And again, if you're new, hit the old subscribe, boys and girls. So what we're going to do now, though, is revisit last weekend's picks, look forward to this weekend's picks, and, of course, showcase you what's been going on in the table. And yes, I'm sorry. I am sorry. We are going to get you an update for the Prediction League. It is still going. Just do your thing. This week has just been helter bloody skelter. So let's get into it and have a look at what went on this past week in action in League 2. So here we go. My picks are on the left. The real deal was on the right. As you see it, Cheltenham with a big important 1-0 win over Chesterfield. Gillingham did lose to Notts County 2-1 as predicted. Wimbledon picking up a 1-0 win over Bradford. I went with a 2-0 win. Ain't too shabby. Grimsby picking up a massive 2-0 away win against Bromley. I went with a draw. Swindon Town put 5. I said 5 past Carlisle United. 5-1 winners, 2-1 winners in my eyes. Cost a man his job. Meanwhile, Doncaster Rovers with the 2-1 win over MK Dons. Got that one spot on the nose. Morecambe, massive 4-2 win over Fleetwood Town. Pete Wild's boys got battered. I won with the 1-0 win. Harrogate Town and Crewe with the 1-1 draw in that game. Newport County with the 1-1 win over Barrow over in Wales. Port Vale with the 2-1 win over Stanley. I went with the 2-0 win. Colchester with the 3-1 win over Tranmere. I went with the 2-1 win. It was all square between Walsall and Salford City. That's right. Now, what about the table? Well, the table looks a little bit like this, folks, as you see it. Walsall are running away with it, 7 points clear. They do have a game in hand on Doncaster Rovers, who, of course, have played a game more than Notts County as well. In the playoffs, it is very, very tight. Wimbledon, Crewe and Port Vale on 48 points. They're in there. Bradford are also in there right here, right now. Salford not too far away. Grimsby, then a bit of a gap opening up between the chasing pack. Going down right now, it is Carlisle, it is Morecambe, but Tranmere aren't out of it. Neither is Stanley, neither is Harrogate Town right here, right now. There was a discussion this week about changing the rules by making a 3-up, 3-down policy across the board in the EFL and the National League. So we will see what happens with that. So that, in theory, if that was the rules today, it wouldn't be applied in this season. I'm sure Tranmere would be going down as well. But regardless, let's take a little look then. Now, yes, I said, we're not there yet. We're not there. I hope to be here, but I'm not. We're going to be there, I think, next time around. I didn't have the time this week to really calculate the numbers. I just got the form out, I believe, so hopefully I'll get to it very, very soon. Just keep on doing your thing, guys. That says League 1. It should say League 2. You know what to do. Anyway, these are the next round of games, and we're going to jump right in the deep end with these, starting with tonight's game. I'm sorry. It's been one of those weeks. Chesterfield up against Doncaster. Rovers coming over at Chesterfield. Paul Cook's boys are 10th for the table there on the outside. They want to get into almost playoff action. They've got 39 points for the campaign. Just one win, though, in the last 6. Up against Doncaster Rovers under Grant McCann. 5 wins on the spin. Second to the table. They should be going up this season, surely. 52 points for the season. Now they played each other 13 times since 2004. 3 wins Chesterfield, 5 wins Doncaster. There's been 5 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at this very venue competitively, it was a 1-1 draw back in April 2016. That was in League 1. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture at the Keepmoat was a 3-0 win for Chesterfield back in September. Chesterfield on the back of 6. Well, actually, they did lose last time around against Cheltenham. Doncaster on the back of, like I said, 5 wins on the spin, beating MK Dons 2-1 last time around. The odds on this one, again, got no odds, real odds really, but Doncaster favoured him just only slightly, but I'm going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw tonight under the cameras. It'll be one of those kind of cagey affairs. Meanwhile, Bradford up against Harrogate Town, coming to at Vale Parade on Saturday, February the 8th. That's right. Bradford under Graham Alexandra are in those playoff spots would like to cement it a little bit more than that, but just 1 defeat in the last 6. 7th right now, 47 points for the campaign. Up against Harrogate, Simon Weaver, 33% form there, all the way down to 20th with 30 points for the campaign. Now, they played each other 10 times since 2020. 2 wins Bradford, 7 wins Harrogate. There's been 1 draw between these two sides. Last time around at this very venue, it was that 1 draw. 1-1 it was back at Valley Parade in September 2023. The reverse fixture this campaign was a 2-1 win for Harrogate Town. Bradford on the back of that 1-0 win over Rotherham. That was in the Football League Trophy. They're through to the semi-finals now. Harrogate with that 1-1 draw against Crewe. Bookies go with Bradford, massively favoured here. Harrogate massively out-fancied. So I'm going to go with that as well. Next up, we head to Swindon Town. That's right, Ian Holloway's boys are doing a good bit of uptick in form right now. 75% form for them right now. 4 wins on the spin. They are 14th for the table with 37 points for the season. Up against Port Vale, Darren Moore. They're 6th in the table right now in those playoffs. 67% form for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. 48 points for the campaign. Played to the 40 times since 1994. 20 wins for Swindon, 11 wins for Port Vale. There's been 9 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at Swindon, it was a 2-1 win for Swindon back in May 2022. It was in the semi-finals or the playoffs, League 2 playoffs. First leg, I think. 2-1 winners it was. The reverse fixture, though, this campaign was a 2-1 win over in Vale Park. That's right, back in September. Swindon on the back of that 5-1 win over Carlisle. They are on fire right now. They got 4-9, 12 goals scored in the last 4 games, averaging 3 goals a game. Up against Port Vale, though, losing to Wrexham in the Football League Trophy. So I don't know where they stand at the moment. Well, I think they're out of that. Meanwhile, the bookies' odds on this one, they do back Swindon. They are favoured for the victory here. I'm going with a 2-1 winners as well to bring the points home. Meanwhile, Accrington Stanley up against Wimbledon, coming at you over at Accrington under John Doolan. They are 42% form for them right now. Just 1 win in the last 5. 21st on the table, 29 points for the campaign. Up against Wimbledon under Johnny Jackson's boys. They are 4th, 48 points for the season. They are rocking 83% form, unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. They played 23 times since 2011, 12 wins Stanley. We've got 5 wins Wimbledon. There's been 6 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at this very venue, it was a 2-0 win for Stanley back in February 2024. The reverse fixture, a 2-2 draw over at Plough Lane back in November. Wimbledon on the back of that 1-0 win over Bradford. Stanley losing to Port Vale 2-1. And last time around, the bookies, they go with Wimbledon on this one. I'm not so sure. I'm sitting on the fence with a 1-1 draw. Meanwhile, Barrow up against Gillingham coming over at Barrow. Andy Wing's boys, 19th for the table, 31 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Gillingham under John Coleman, winless in the last 6. They got 18th in the table, 32 points for the campaign. They have played each other 5 times since 2022, 2 wins apiece and 1 draw. Last time around over at this very venue, it was a 2-0 win for Barrow. Reverse fixture, also a 2-0 win, but this time for Gillingham at Priestfields. Barrow on the back of that 1-0 loss to Newport County. Gillingham losing themselves to Notts County. The odds here, they go with Barrow. They are favoured for the victory here. I'm going with it as well. 1-0 winners. Andrew Wing, new manager, still there, trying to get a bit of a bounce on the boys this time. Meanwhile, Colchester United against high-flying tabletoppers Walsall. Danny Crown's boys are 13th for the table, 37 points for the campaign, unbeaten now in the last 4. Up against Walsall, Matt Sadler, top of the pops, 59 points for the season, just 1 win though in the last 5 games. 30 times they're played since 2004, 9 wins Colchester, 11 wins Walsall. There's been 10 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at Colchester, it was a 1-1 draw. This time, this season, 4-0 winners it was for Walsall over at their best. Got Walsall are unbeaten against Colchester over the last 6, picking up 2 wins and 6 draws. Colchester on the back of that 3-1 win over Tranmere. Prior to that, 3 clean sheets on the spin for them. Meanwhile, Walsall on the back of that 2-2 draw at Salford on this one. The bookies do go with Walsall, but only just. I think I am giving it to Walsall as well, but I think Colchester can win this one. So I'm going with a 2-1 win, but you could probably flip that around with a 2-1 win the other way. Meanwhile, Crewe up against Newport County over at Gresty Road. Crewe still in the mixer for those playoffs. They're 5th right now, 58% form for them. Just 1 win in the last 5 at Lee Bell under Newport County. Nelson Jardem unbeaten on the last 3. They're 17th in the table with 42% form. 33 points for the season. Now, they played 12 times since 2016. 3 wins Crewe, 5 wins Newport, 4 draws between the two sides. Last time I played at Gresty Road, 6-goal Bobby Dazzler, 4-2 it was for Crewe back in August 2023. The reverse fixture this campaign in Wales was a 2-1 win for Newport County. Crewe on the back of successive draws, drawing with Wimbledon and then Harrogate Town. Meanwhile, Newport County on successive wins, beating Barrow and then Morecambe, all Northwest opponents there. Are they going for a hat-trick? We'll see about that. Bookies, though, give it to Crewe, as do I. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Crewe in their own backyard. Fleetwood Town up against Cheltenham, coming at you over at Highbury. Fleetwood under pretty wild, 50% form for them right now. 1-3, lost 3 over the last 6. They are 15th with 36 points for the season. Up against Cheltenham under Michael Flynn. They are 12th, 38 points for the season. Just 2 defeats in the last 6. Played 11 times, these two clubs, since 2012. 4 wins apiece, 3 draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at this very venue, it was a 2-1 win for Cheltenham. The reverse fixture in Cheltenham was a 2-0 win for Fleetwood back in September. Cheltenham on the back of a loss, 3-2, quarter-final stage of the Football League Trophy. They are out. Up against Fleetwood, who did lose to the Northwest rivals Morecambe. 6-goal thriller there, but on the receiving end of that 4-2 loss. Bookies, they go with Fleetwood. Cheltenham, the underdogs. Going to go with a 1-0 win myself for Fleetwood Town on this. Grimsby up against Carlisle. Wow, we were over in Grimsby under David Artell. Just 1 win the last 6. They are 9th. Within touching distance of those playoffs. Up against Carlisle, just 1 win the last 6. They are managers right here, right now. Rock bottom, 21 points for the season. They look like they're going down, guys. They already made a managerial change once, and they've now done it twice. Grimsby on the outside looking in. Played each other 17 times since 2004. 5 wins Grimsby, 7 wins Carlisle. 5 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at this very venue, it was a 2-1 win for Carlisle back in September. Reverse fixture in Carlisle. 3-2 it was for Grimsby back in September. Carlisle on the back of that 5-1 stuffing by Swindon Town. Grimsby put 2-0 winners over Bromley most recently, and they do back Grimsby for the victory here. Their bookies, as do I. Not. I'm going with a draw. 1-1. New manager, some sort of bounce, some sort of fight. They'll get a point out of it in my eyes. MK Dons against Bromley. Come at the Stadium MK, and MK Dons are in 11th right now. Just 1 win the last 6. Scott Lindsay's boys, of course, promoted last season with Crawley, wasn't it? But not this time around. Doesn't look like it. Up against Bromley under Andy Woodman, winless in the last 6. They are 60th for the table, 36 points for the season. And they played MK Dons just the 1 time since 2024. That 1 time was a reverse fixture in Bromley back in September, and it was a 1-1 draw. Bromley on the back of a 3-3 draw most recently against Salford. MK Dons losing to Doncaster, 2-1 winners. Back on the 1st of Feb. Meanwhile, the odds for this one, MK Dons massively fancy Bromley underdogs here. Going to go with a 2-0 win, Stadium MK. They're taking the points. That's MK Dons. Moving on to Notts County up against Morecambe. Coming at you over in Notts County. Stuart Maynard's boys are 3rd. They're in the automatics right now. Unbeaten now in the last 5 up against Morecambe. Derek Adams, 23rd in the table, 23 points for the season. Just 1 win in the last 6. They played each other 17 times, though, since 2007. 5 wins apiece and 7 draws. Notts County did beat Morecambe last time around. 5-0 winners it was back in December 2023 at this venue. The reverse fixture, though, a 1-1 draw. In fact, 4 of the last 5 have ended up all square between these two sides, so wouldn't be surprised if this goes that way. But Notts County on the back of that 2-1 win over Gillingham. Morecambe did lose to Newport County most recently. Bookies, they do back Notts County massively. Morecambe not fancied at all. 3-1 winners in the end. Notts County taking the points. And then finally we go to Salford City against Tranmere, a bit of a Northwest Coach clash. Salford under Carl Robinson, winless now in the last 6. They are 8th, though, 45 points for the season. Up against Tranmere, who are 22nd with 26 points for the season. They are also on 25% form, winless in the last 5. Played each other 11 times since 2019. 2 wins Salford, 5 wins Tranmere, 4 draws between the two sides, including a draw on the reverse fixture back in September. 0-0 it was. However, the last time they played at this venue, 5-1 winners it was for Tranmere Rovers. Goodness gracious me. Tranmere, though, losing to Colchester last time around. Salford on the back of 3 successive draws. They did a 1-1. They did a 2-2. And they did a 3-3. Is this going to be a 4-4? We'll see. But the bookies, they do back Salford for the victory. Tranmere looking like a bit of trouble brewing. Going to go with a 1-0 win. Just a 1-0 win for Salford in their own backyard. That's what I've got. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like heading out of this one. Also, top of the table, Notts County are in 2nd, level on points, so with Doncaster. Crewe on the outside looking in, then Bradford, then Wimbledon, then Salford. Going down, Carlisle, Morecambe, as you were. Don't forget to get your predictions in using the link in the description down below. But until then, guys and girls, we'll see you on the other side. And we'll be back very, very soon. Until then, we're done.